Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Duluth Public Schools ISD 709. And tonight, it's Tuesday, April 22nd. It is 6:35. And welcome to our listening session. This is an opportunity where you can come before the school board with ideas, concerns, questions, information. And we are here to listen and to take note and to appreciate the community members that take the time to come to our listening sessions. Our listening sessions are noted on our district's website. It is a sign-up, and you need to follow that direction by signing up by Monday at noon. Tonight, we have 4 community members coming before the board, and we're looking forward to hearing more and taking your input. So thank you for coming. Not seeing any questions. Our first speaker tonight.
Jill, we'll take a roll, and
Oh,
then
we'll
I'll
take
read the
roll. That's
listening
right.
session guidelines. So,
That's right.
Member Banks is excused. Member Eder?
Yes.
Member Laffer-Kemp?
Yes.
Member Lofeld?
Yes.
Member Mikesell?
Here.
I am here. Member Williams? Superintendent Magus?
Present.
Assistant Superintendent Bonds? Present. And Student School Board Rep Damon Ritzko? Here. Perfect. And
Thank you. And then we'll first read our
listening session.
our listening, well, our conduct, what is it called? Our Tools of Civility.
Tools of Civility.
I don't have mine, but Member Loeffler-Kemp is going to help us out.
Our mission, every student, every day will be empowered with learning opportunities for growth, creativity, and curiosity in preparation for their future in a global community. Our vision, Duluth Public Schools, provides an academically engaging, safe, and inclusive environment with high expectations and responsible use of resources. Our core values, learning excellence, equity, collaboration, and belonging. And the 11 tools of civility, the school board recognizes these tools that will provide increased opportunities for civil discourse in order to find positive resolutions to the issues that face our community. This is a part of the Speak Your Piece Civility Project. These tools include 1, pay attention, 2, listen, 3, be inclusive, 4, don't gossip, 5, show respect, 6, be agreeable, 7, apologize, 8, give constructive criticism, 9, take responsibility, 10, be honest and care for others, and 11, show your evidence, share your reasoning.
Thank you. And then Clerk Zadowski will just go over the general guidelines that we follow at our listening sessions. That can also be found on our website.
Yep, so here are our listening session guidelines. If you have handouts for the board, please give them to our school board secretary, Patty, right over here. Persons addressing the board will have 3 minutes total. When speaking, the use of names or any information that identifies a specific individual is prohibited, and then you will be asked to end your comments. Persons addressing the board may not merge their time in order to allow one person to speak more than 3 minutes. The clerk of the board will start the stoplight timer at the start of each person's time. Green means go, yellow means wrap up, and red means stop. When the red light comes on, the chair will gavel to signal you to end. And then, in the interest of respect for every listening session speaker, please hold any commentary during the speaker's time until they are finished. Thank you.
And again, our timer is this little box here, and we'll put it in front. I'll move this over. And is there a mic on our podium, a handheld? Okay. So our first speaker is Lauren Martell. On deck is Jim Jubinville.
Thanks for the time. My name is Lauren Martell, and I'm here to address the referendum on May 14th. My biggest worry about it is how you're going to keep your promise. Trying to follow. You're going to have a $7 million deficit in 2 years, and you're not going to throw any of this technology investment over the side of the ship. The last time the district had a comparable deficit was $6 million in 2011, and we lost 70 teachers. If the choice comes down to saving teachers' jobs or dumping some of this technology investment, you're going to choose technology? I actually came out for all three tiers of the levy as a candidate in 2011 in the heart of the red plan, and it cost me the election. People were mad about this board's decisions and wouldn't even believe me when I told them I would account for every penny. Your odds of winning passage of the referendum in November aren't great, so you're purposely taking advantage of low voter turnout in May. Judging from the public turnout at Lincoln Park, it's going to work too. You're going to catch the public asleep, overwhelm the polls, and get what you want. But if that works and you win, you get the money you want by exploiting a turnout in the 20th percentile. I will not call that functional democracy. The same DFL Union Coalition has dominated this boardroom and broken many promises since Dixon came to town. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't heard a single one of you express any empathy at all towards the general public and a huge tax burden that's going to surpass $50 million. It was $8 million in 2003, just 2 decades ago. I've heard Superintendent Magnus mention this burden a few times, but no members of the school board. And if I'm wrong, tell me where to find it, to look to find it. I don't doubt your dedication to education, but the past isn't just erased in a blink. The 3rd District rep is a no-show, but I will tell you all that he called me back in 2010 and voiced my support, and voiced his support, I meant to say, for my stand against what the school board was doing at the time. I would appeal to him, and he probably won't even listen to, but I still will appeal to him not to repeat the mistakes of the past and completely ignore the concerns of the nearly 50% that did not vote for him in the center of the city. Many of those people are hurting from this large tax burden and were offended by his seemingly unsympathetic declaration that they were obligated to pay. Thank you.
Our next person is Jim Jubinville, and after Jim Jubinville on deck is Jim Olson.
All right, tell me when. Hello, my name is Jim Jubinville. Oh, and I'm a special education teacher at ALC AEO. I'm also the co-facilitator of the labor management committees. Our assistant superintendent and myself are both in our 3rd year as co-facilitators of the labor management process. I believe we have improved the process from year to year, partly due to the trust and working relationship that we have established. We use an action tracker to keep track of larger issues to make sure they are being dealt with and ideally eventually solved. As part of the process, we email all our QLT team members 2 weeks prior to the meeting for agenda items, and then share the compiled agenda with key members a week prior to the meeting to allow people, especially Mr. Bonds, to look into issues that require feedback from management. We have stressed the importance of addressing issues first at the site level before bringing it to the labor management committees. We work with some of the most, excuse me, missed a page there. Overall, I believe staff feel they are heard through the labor management process. We continue to fine-tune the process as we move forward, and the hope is to improve the product. One of the more recent items we have worked through labor management process is the agreement to a new middle school schedule, which we will believe will be better for both students and staff. Some items we continue to work on are the high school schedule, smaller class sizes at all levels, an improved MOU for early childhood, and caseload sizes for birth to 21 case managers. One of the more frustrating items that labor and district administrators have had difficulty finding middle ground on is the design and build out of the ALC AEO school at the DNT building. The staff at ALC AEO strongly believe we need the whole 2nd floor of the DNT building for our continuously growing school and programs. Administration wants to give us about 60% of the floor, which is not only insufficient to meet our program needs, but is actually smaller than the current space at the Tech Village. We work with some of the most disenfranchised, diverse, and at-risk students in the district, and they deserve a good landing spot for a school. I constantly hear the word equity throughout the district. We need to walk the talk when it comes to ALC, AEO students and their needs. Are these students not worth the minimum standards set forth by MDE for educational advocacy guidelines in regards to a school build-out? We don't even have a designated SPED classroom or a SPED conference room for IEP meetings. We're just asking for a Chevy for these students, not a Cadillac in regards to a school. In conclusion, I would hope our school board members would want to get to the bottom of this situation. I believe you've only heard one side to this issue, but you should be asking the very experienced and talented staff in the front lines at ALC, AEO, what our facility needs are as a growing school. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jim Olson, and on deck is Joe Shingen.
Good evening. My name is Jim Olson, and I have served as a district technology coordinator since 1999. Over the last 25 years, my role has been the primary support for my building's technology-related issues. During this time, I've seen continuous trend of our technology budget being improved in the spring, but then funds transferred to other departments as the fall needs come around. There have been only 2 times in the last 25 years when adequate funds were allotted to upgrade our technology infrastructure. I appreciate the board's vision to support the spring referendum so that we can have a viable path to sustain our technology resources. While I'm a believer in blended learning with the use of technology, this referendum is important to me because student safety is always my top priority. About 50% of the funds of the referendum will generate are related to student safety and the infrastructure needed to sustain those safety measures. Door locking systems, security cameras, communication systems are all needed to make sure we are able to keep our buildings secure and our students safe. Keeping our students physically safe is an obvious priority, but protecting their online identity is also important. Having system hardware, software, maintenance technicians, and staff training to ensure that our students' private information is being protected is almost as important as their physical safety. 61% of computer hacking targets are on educational institutions. There are 5.3 million ransomware attacks on educational institutions each month. Please take a moment to let that sink in. 5.3 million ransomware attacks each month trying to steal our students' private information. I truly appreciate this board's forward thinking to work towards ensuring both physical and digital security for our students. I also would like to thank the members of the Duluth for Education Parent Group who have been working to educate our community members on the importance of supporting student safety. Thank you.
And our last speaker tonight is Joe Shingen.
Hi, my name is Joe Shingen. This is my 22nd year as an educator in this district. 10 years ago, I was invited to be a part of something big, creating a new school from scratch. Eddie Crawford, the assistant superintendent at the time, saw what the future held and wanted the Duluth Public Schools to lead a movement in the state of Minnesota by creating an online high school. It would be the 3rd attempt here to get it up and running. The first 2 attempts were too costly and burned out those involved, so the dream faded. It required lots of innovation and smart problem solving to make it go. And the solution we went with was to build one super staff that would do it all. Teach ALC courses, teach credit recovery courses for all Northland schools, teach independent study courses for students with unique needs, and also build a comprehensive catalog of online courses that we would offer to students, not only in Duluth, but across the state of Minnesota. This was a bold move because district leaders and school board members and the community struggled to actually visualize what it would be like, but knew it was important. They committed to the future, and it is paying off now. MDE approved our application to be an online provider and embraced our model as the one to follow for other schools in the state. And thus, AEO was born. You might not know this, but AEO is statistically the most successful online high school in the state of Minnesota, with an 81% success rate, compared to the state average of lower than 50% success rate. It's an honor to represent Duluth Public Schools in this way. I share this because we tend to lump AEO and ALC into one entity due to the shared staff, but really they are quite different in terms of the needs they meet. Similarly, though, all of the non-traditional schools we offer to families have been booming over the past few years. AEO, ALC, CTE, which isn't ours, but CTE, and independent study are busting at the seams, which tells us something very important. The face of school is changing rapidly. It is bifurcating from a one-size-fits-all model to a hyper-individualized approach of many programs. More and more, this is what students and families are asking for. We need to prepare emotionally for this impending shift in education. Now is the opportunity to lead in Minnesota again, like we did for the district 10 years ago. Investing in non-traditional schools and programs will serve the district very well in the years to come. Thank you for your consideration for the future of education in Duluth.
Again, I want to extend our whole board's appreciation for those of us that came out tonight to share ideas, questions, celebrations, things to think about, and ways to get there. So it's an honor to be here to listen and to give the opportunity to our community and to our staff to come on forward in a warm and welcoming environment here to share ideas and all that we can do together. So I appreciate it. Our listening session is now adjourned.